Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. We're going to start a new series. This is going to be about a new ECU, a new engine harness, and we're going to be fixing the engine in this car. So, time to change the ECU. Time to put a new engine harness. Long overdue. I'll show you the wiring mess over there. We're going to be changing that panel. We basically sold the Proefi, and we'll be getting a MOTEC in the car, which is interesting. What else? All this harness is going to come out. All these old 20-year-old wiring harness is going to come out. We're going to be making a new engine harness. It's a bit in the air if I'm going to get a harness made or if we're going to make it ourselves. But I'll show you the other side. The wiring is a mess. So this project was well overdue. I don't know if you can see here, but the wiring is a mess. So I'll get some light. We will I'll show you removing all that. We're going to change the panel. I have to replace that relay box. So we got a lot of work to do. Car still looks pretty. We're waiting on the engine still. The engine is at Aero Machine. We're waiting for that to be built. It's almost done. The transmission's still here. So once that comes in, then we'll start working on the engine. But today we're going to clean up the wiring mess. We're going to remove the stock engine harness. We're going to remove the patch harness for Proefi there, and we're going to replace the that panel. Be back. So we're going to start. We're going to remove this panel here because we sold the Proefi. Well, let's go through the whole thing while we take this apart. So the Proefi is coming out, and probably you guys asking, why am I removing the Proefi? Well, nothing wrong with the Proefi. I want to make that clear. The ECU did great. It was really good. I mean, it never really disappointed me in a way, but when the car was a street car, and when the car was had a different purpose, you know, like we were doing some drag racing, or we're doing some street racing, nothing drag racing professionally, so to speak. I mean, the ECU never really disappointed. It had good traction control, it had, you know, decent fail safes, you know, it's a great ECU. But when it comes down to professional drag racing, I mean, that's kind of where we're going right now. Is we're going into a league where we're trying to break records. So the Proefi doesn't have the tables. Not it doesn't have. It's like the Proefi is not really tailored for drag racing. So it's more for street car driven, for, you know, mild drag racing. I mean, they still use it for this kind of stuff, but in my opinion, I think there's other options out there that will help us go quicker and more reliable. So that being said, the MOTEC, the Proefi is coming out, and we're going to be putting in a MOTEC M150. There's a big process changing ECUs. You have to change the harness. So to start, I sold the Proefi, I sold the display. So the guy that bought the Proefi, he asked me if he can trade this panel here, so it has the display in it, and he's going to give me his. So we're going to be putting a keypad here, the MOTEC keypad, and then there's going to be a MOTEC dash that's going to be in the middle there. So we're not going to be using this anymore, which is a pity because I really like it. It's a small display, you know, it's a decent size, but unfortunately it doesn't work with the MOTEC. But so it's coming out. Let's remove this panel here. I put these LEDs back here. I don't know if you guys ever seen how the dash lights up, but a few years ago I made these LED conversions. The dash lights up really nice. So I'm keeping this part because this is where all the LEDs are, and he's just getting the dash part. So I'll have to remove the HVAC and this kind of stuff. Yeah. This here. So this part has been long overdue, man. Look at this mess here. I mean, I don't know if you can see, but that harness is a mess. So all that is coming out. I have all the different sensors. So if you see those gray wires there, all the different sensors, I recently installed this driver module. This is an injector module box that's going to come out too because we don't need it. But yeah, this mess is going to all come out. We're going to make a new engine harness. I'm going to have to learn how to do that. Ideally, we would want to change the whole harness of the car, like all these old wires. There's a lot of wires in this car that we don't use, like the HVAC. But for now, I think this is going to stay. And we're just going to make a MOTEC engine harness that's going to connect to the stock harness. I mean, we don't use a lot of the stuff from stock, so we'll have to connect the key and all these little buttons here and there, you know, just to make everything work. But yeah, I'm excited. So let's take that apart. Well, you got a big freaking mess here. Holy shit. So I mean, I've been willing to replace this shit for a long time. It's just when you start playing around with wiring, it's like either you kind of change it all, or you know, just keep it the way it is. But yeah, I'm excited to change all this stuff because the big mess that's here, we're gonna have to take that patch harness out. All these little gray wires are separate sensors. All these little wires here also are sensors coming from the trans. So all that stuff's gonna have to change. But here's a little view of the cage. It's pretty cool. See how it ties to the car? It's welded there. Yeah, the chassis stop did a great job there. Oh my god, what a mess. I don't even know from where to start. But we'll start snipping away. Snipping away till all this junk is out. This is the wire for the CAN communication. All that will have to come out. Holy shit. Look at all this stuff. Look at all these sensors. There's height sensors. This is the ignition harness module. Man, I don't even know from where to start. But yeah, some people don't really show the ugly stuff. Figured I'll show you guys how this car used to run, but it's kind of a pity. But anyway, time to move on. We're gonna replace it all. Yeah, let's start ripping stuff apart. So all this wiring has to come out. It's a big mess, dude. It's a big mess. All these wires have to come out. So anyway, let's remove this first. But yeah, I use adjustable wrenches for everything. I know it's weird. You're probably wondering, why is this guy so ghetto, doesn't have AN? But I use adjustable wrenches on everything. These were just for venting. So anyway, this is gonna come out. I have another fuel tank down there. You can't really see it. That's gonna come out too. When we went to Texas, I thought that 2 gallons of fuel is enough, and it wasn't. So we need about 3.5 gallons of fuel to make a pass with what we do. Let's take these 2 off. But yeah. Oh my god, all these lines. These are oil lines, my oil filter. But this whole harness will have to come out. These are the coils. I think I'm gonna leave this harness. Maybe I'll redo it. But all this original stuff, like all this here, all this old stuff, like, you know what I mean? Like, why do I have this in the car? Like, this stuff is 24 years old. So all this is gonna come out. It's all cracking. Like, I had to repair these wires. Like, look at this. Like, they're so old, everything's cracking. So all that's coming out. Then from the MOTEC ECU, we're gonna have one harness that's gonna come out and connect to, you know, there's not many sensors here that I use. They're oil pressure, coolant pressure, the 12 injectors. So I think I'm going to tackle that myself. Yeah, so that's all gonna come out. I think I'm gonna tackle it myself. I'm gonna make a new harness, see if we can do it, and then eventually we'll get Cody Phillips to make us a whole car harness and engine harness and everything, but that's gonna come later. We're not gonna get a PDM for now. We're going to get just the MOTEC M150. It will connect to the TC8, the MOTEC LTC, which is for the O2 sensor. That's gonna connect to it. Clean this mess up. I'm gonna make some carbon covers for here. This catch can is gonna go. There's a catch can in here that's gonna go. We're gonna have half a rad here. So the stock rad has been taken out. We're gonna have a rad. Let's move this. We're gonna have a rad that's gonna be up to here. CSF rad or whatever that's called. So it's gonna come up to here. This will go to it, and then the other half is all going to be a fuel tank. So that's going to be like a 5.8 gallon fuel tank that's going to sit from here to here. That's going to fill that whole area. Yeah, the more weight to the front, the better for you know, anti-wheelie. So the fuel tank in the back has been removed, and it's going to be over here. So you just fill it over here. No 2 tanks, no bullshit. It's just one big tank down there. All right, so let's get to it. Harness is out. This thing's heavy. Look at this mess. Yeah, so that's going in the garbage. Look at all this shit melted. This is the ECU side. So we're gonna have to find a way what's connected from the engine harness to the car. I don't think there's much, but I'm gonna have to do some homework there. But yeah, all these things will have to be replaced. Look at that, it's all melted. This was by the exhaust. You know, I did what I could with the stock harness. You know, I had to run 12 injectors on this thing, so you know, it is what it is. I think it's time to get a new one made. Pretty excited because I never really trusted this harness. It was always on the back of my head that something's gonna fail. Yeah, so that's next. ECU is out. Took the harness out. O2 sensor, CAN cable, display, and all that stuff. He's going to take this part, so because I have the cutout here, so he's going to give me his, and I'll give him that. This thing's for sale if anybody needs one. So it sits on the right side. You put fuel inside. You can use it as a search tank. It's got an AN12 feed, but if anybody needs one, let me know. Contact me. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna put the mirrors back, by the way. I don't know, it's really hard to back out, but I think those are coming back. You can't see anything, but obviously no wiring there. We're gonna have to clean that up. Yeah, so big project ahead of us. So subscribe and follow us if you want to see the rest. We're probably gonna make a harness from scratch. You're gonna see the new engine come in, the new MOTEC M150, and all the goodies. All right, see you in the next video.